Please bless this city and everyone in it who strives to make it a better place each and every day. And please bless us at this meeting so that we can perform our roles in the spirit of your generosity and love. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I got one thing before we introduce our speaker. This month is National Military Appreciation Month. So if you are serving or have served in our armed forces, please stand up so we can recognize you.
Go Navy! Go Navy! Go Navy!
Thank you so much for your service. We appreciate you. Okay, I'm very excited to announce our guest speaker tonight, Mr. Javante Porter of the Memphis Allies Program. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you, Jeanette. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
You guys can do better than that. Good evening. There you go. I'm just as tired as you are. This is my fourth meeting today, and I'm excited to be here. I'm Javante Porter, the Assistant Director of Community Relations for Youth Villages. I oversee community and external affairs here at West Tennessee for our Memphis Allies program. We were invited here tonight to kind of share with you all about who we are and what we're doing. Are anybody familiar with Youth Villages at all? Awesome, awesome. And so when you think of that term, Youth Villages, a lot of time people think that we are a facility or an organization who are housing young people. And to be honest, the pun intended is that we actually do the opposite. And so we typically serve about 8,000 kids a day nationally. We're in 100 locations. We're over in 23 states, but we're here headquartered in our city of Memphis. Of that 8,000, only about 400 of our kids are actually living in our residential facilities. So the majority of our young people are served in the community. We believe that children best thrive in the home with their families. And so we take counselors out, we work with them in their homes, with their parents, with their siblings, with their relatives, to provide wraparound services for them. And so part of that work is what led me here tonight to talk to you all about our new initiative that we recently launched. It's called Memphis Allies. Have anybody heard about Memphis Allies recently in the news at all? So Memphis Allies is a new initiative recently launched by Youth Villages working to reduce gun violence here in the city of Memphis. We understand that it's an epidemic right now. We also understand that violence is taking a toll on our communities. It's impacting not only my community, but yours as well. And so we're actively trying to be proactive about doing that work, not only here in Raleigh, but throughout the entire city. Our goal is to reduce gun violence here in Memphis and in Shelby County over the next 4 years. We believe we bucket that work about 3 parts: intervention, prevention, and transformation. We believe that it does take prevention. Your outreach activities, your outreach programs, wraparound services for our young people and our adults, it does take prevention to help solve this problem. But who is helping to stop the bleed now? Who is helping to intervene now? Young people and adults need services now. And so what we do, we bucket the majority of our work in what we call intervention, because we believe that intervention will get the quickest results anywhere from 1 to 3 years. Part of that work, we've produced 2 models, which is SWITCH and SWITCH Youth. SWITCH stands for Support with Intention to Create Hope. A lot of you all may not know this, but the reason why we curated this model is because young people today are taking a piece of cheap metal, and it's called a switch. They transform a semi-block weapon to an automatic pistol. So one weapon that can shoot 1 bullet now can shoot 14 bullets with the pull of 1 trigger. That is what that cheaper piece of metal is doing. So we think that if a young person is taking that piece of metal to kill lives, we can take a program to transform their lives. So we provide that young person with a team, an outreach specialist, a life coach, a case manager, and a clinical specialist. In order to truly build relationships and build capacity with our young adults and our young people who are actively committing the crime here in our city, you have to have someone who can relate to them. And so we are actively hiring individuals who have lived experiences. These are someone who have been a part of the gang life, who've been incarcerated, who've been in jail, who now are trying to make a difference in their community by changing their life around, to truly employ change in their lives. They want to give back. They've been a part of that lifestyle before, so they can truly relate and build trust and build credibility. So we heavily rely on our outreach specialists to truly bring in individuals who can really meet the criteria to benefit from this program. Then we have a life coach. We consider these our life counselors, someone to walk alongside of our young people, to walk alongside of our adults. Anyone know the average age of someone committing gun violence here in the city of Memphis? 16, 14, 12, 10, it's 26. The average person shooting is 26. The average victim is 27. See, the media portrays that our young people are violent. And we know that there's an uptick in aggravated assaults, car thefts, car robberies. But that's what the media is portraying. However, data shows that the number of homicides are really introduced and uptick by your 26 to 27-year-olds. An average victim of that crime is 27. A lot of the crime that happens in neighborhoods like Raleigh, like Frazier, like Orange Mound, like Hickory Hill, like Binghamton, is what we call transient. There are people who live in another part of town who drive over to this town, commit violent acts, and then they go back home. So it's everywhere. It's not just at your front door, but it's at all of our front doors. And so how do we intervene in that moment? What are we doing to provide services in that moment? Which is why it's super critical for this program. It's not only work, but to be viable, to partner with organizations. We understand that we cannot do this work alone, which is why we're now currently serving the Raleigh and Frazier community. We have 3 switch teams. One is a YV switch team. The other one is NCC, Neighborhood Christian Center, and the other one is Lifelines to Success. We actively partner with grassroots organizations who not only have what we call an LTO, which is a license to operate, but they have credible lived experiences and they have the trust of the community to do this work. We need organizations, we need partners to be on the front line to serve our people, to serve our young people. These are our kids. So it's our responsibility to take them back and to truly have transformed their lives. So we also have a case manager. Not only do we work with that young person and that young adult in our program, but we also work with their entire family. We work with their mothers, their siblings, their children, anyone that individual loves, because we understand that that young person can commit their crime. It's not only to survive for themselves, but to survive for someone they have at home. Part of the program is that we also provide these individuals stipends. And many of you may not say, well, it's not a life-changing stipend. Well, if you have someone who starved for days, for weeks, for months, that stipend can truly make a difference because they can now feed themselves. Prior to being a part of this program, they were robbing you to feed themselves. They were robbing others to feed their families. So it's critical that we not only be intentional about this work, but we be real about this work, which is why we need people with credible experiences to do this work. So our outreach specialists and our life coaches and our case managers are critical to this model. And lastly, we have our clinical specialists. We know that disproportionately African Americans do not agree with seeking a counselor. There's unresolved trauma that we do not deal with. And most times that trauma is transformed from adolescence into adulthood. And a lot of times, until you deal with that trauma, until you get to the root cause of what has caused you to be angry, you are going to retaliate. And so we believe heavily that our clinical specialists play a vital role, because it's not about providing services, it's not about providing stipends, but it's about a mindset shift. In order to truly get someone to make a difference, they have to shift their minds. And part of that work is being and working with our clinical specialists. Now, our Switch Youth program works with our highest intensity young adults who are actively committing crime. One thing about youth villages is that once we identify a gap in services, we meet that need, which is why we've been able to do that successfully over the last 35 years and serving over 32,000 years in that time period. we've created Intercept, which is our in-home program working with our young people. MST, LifeSet, which is a life coach working with our young people, providing life skills for those who are transitional youth. These are youth aging out of foster care. Because once you leave foster care, what's next? Who equips you for the life readiness? Who equips you? Who gives you the tools you need to be college and career ready? No one. So that LifeSet program is vital. Our community-based programs are vital, and which is why we are heavily believing and focused and shifting our efforts to really increase switch youth here in this city, because we understand the devastating effects that gun violence have on our communities, which is why we want to be proactive about doing something about it. But we cannot do this work alone. It takes each of us in this room, because yeah, they're committing a crime, but are we addressing the factors that's causing them to commit that crime? If we're having serious conversations about the why behind, we're not. So it's more than just providing services. It's more than just working with the families. It's a mindset shift. It's addressing the root causes. It's addressing poverty. It's addressing the lack of quality education. It's addressing affordable housing, the lack thereof. It's addressing food deserts in some of these neighborhoods. If we start thinking about the factors that contribute to this crime, then we can really get to a resolution to better understand our young people. Because at one point, they too were innocent, just like all of us were. A child's innocence should be catered to, but once you expose them to some of the most devastating facts, it shifts their mindset. And a lot of times, what deems a person's highest risk to be a part of our program is one, either they've been shot in the last 12 months, they've had a relative to be shot in the last 12 months, they're either involved in gang activity, they've recently been incarcerated, or they're unemployed. And you don't have to meet all of those factors to be a part of this program, but those are several factors that deem an individual highest risk ages 12 to 35. So we're very intentional about this program, and we're looking forward to working this program. Right now, we're currently in the Raleigh and Fraser area, and we have Jamira Lloyd. Jamira, if you mind raising her hand. She's our Raleigh and Fraser Community Relations Coordinator, and she's actively working with community organizations to not only increase the awareness of Memphis Allies, but to work alongside of you, because there are several things that we can do to truly bring about positive change in our communities. And that's what we're trying to do. We're intentional about our partnerships. We believe in our partnerships. We understand that united as a collaborative effort, we can truly solve this problem. And so I'm not going to be here long talking about this program. We did leave some flyers for you all just to kind of have more information about what we're doing. I also have business cards. Feel free to call me, email me. I'm just a phone call away, because I am intentional when I say we are here to serve you. We are here to be a partner alongside of you. We want to assist you in whichever way that we can. Youth Villages has been a prominent leader in the mental health space for over 35 years. And yeah, we are new to gun violence reduction work, but we are committed to this work. And we understand that we have to, in order to sustain this work, it takes collaborative partnerships like yours. Any questions? So we recently kicked off a capital campaign a year and a half ago. The goal was to raise $60 million over the next 4 years. We understand that a lot of that money will come from private dollars, which is what we're actively right now fundraising with private capital campaigns through some leadership foundations, some corporations. But in order to sustain this work, it's going to take local and state funding to truly sustain this work. We're trying to professionalize this, just like we employ services and funding into our policing, into our fire. We want to employ this work into community violence intervention. That is what this is. It's a CVI, Community Violence Intervention work. So right now we are currently privately funded, but we are in the process of securing more local dollars and more state funding. Governor Lee did allocate funding towards our program last year in this budget. We received $3 million. We're looking to receive a little bit more this year as we finish our budget season in the legislature. No, ma'am. It is not a Christian-based program. However, we do understand that our faith-based leaders are the gatekeepers in our communities, which is why we're actively telling our pastors, regardless of your denomination, open up your church. Your church should be a vessel in the community. You are the gatekeepers to your communities. We should not be closing our doors because we hear bullets rattle. We should be opening up our doors, providing programming to our young people, providing a safe haven to our young people. It's not a faith-based initiative, but we do rely heavily on our faith-based leaders because our faith-based leaders are the gatekeepers in every community in this city. They play a vital role in this work as well, which is why we're trying to be proactive about getting them alongside of this work. And I think Colonel Kirkwood, who should be coming tonight, is not here yet, but he's one of our faith-based consultants with our program who's actively helping us to engage more faith-based leaders in this work. We have had prominent support so far, and we look forward to recruiting more people to be a part of this initiative. We also have faith-based flyers for our leaders here tonight to show you more ways that you can get involved, more ways that you can truly be a part of this effort. Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about the process of getting churches involved.
Absolutely. So their process is a little stringent at the moment. Real quickly, we look to see who has an appetite to want to serve this population. It's a different kind of population. It's one that's been isolated for years because we oftentimes have left our young people without resources. And so what we do is we try to find organizations, find pastors, find faith-based leaders who have an appetite to want to serve, whether it's you open up your doors providing programming, whether it's you having outreach activities that we can support and sponsor. It's several ways that you can get engaged. I have a team of community relations coordinators and school coordinators here who can talk to you about more ways to get you plugged in. But that is also a way that you can get plugged in, but I also have that flyer for you as well. But honestly, we don't want to overwork you because we understand that faith-based leaders have a ton on their shoulders, a lot of weight on their shoulders. We want to be a support system to you. We're hoping to be a referral partner. If you know someone who looks like they should be a part of our program, who needs resources, we ask that you refer them to us if they're highest risk. Because in order for us to truly meet that need and to truly reach those populations, it's going to take all of us. We understand that mama and grandma and uncle and dad, they're having serious conversations about, be careful. I'm praying for you. I hope to see you when you come back. And so in order to relieve that fear, we have to be open and honest about sharing what's truly happening in our communities and stop closing our doors and closing our blinds. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to add that before the time I saw on the news where DCS no longer have children in their offices sleeping on the floor because the faith-based community intervened, and now they're letting some of the kids be housed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what it takes. It takes more leaders like that. It takes our corporate leaders, our FedExes, our Nikes to invest in this work. It takes our churches to invest in this work because it's a community problem. It's not a my problem, a you problem, a black problem, or a white problem. It's a community problem. It's happening to all of us. And at this point in time, we have to be serious about this. We got to truly take back our kids because they are our children. They are our responsibility. I didn't ask to be here. My children asked to be here, but they're my responsibility. And so we have to be really proactive about providing resources to them. Until we address the root problems, we're never going to get to a resolve. We can only stop the bleed and put a Band-Aid on it for so long. And now we've gone to the point to where there's no return. We can't continue to put Band-Aids on it. So I'm really happy to hear about our faith-based leaders really stepping up and opening their doors because that's what it's going to take. That's what it was like for me coming up. And I'm still young. So I asked myself, what happened? Where did it change? Where did it transition? When did churches stop being a safe haven? When did pastors stop being approachable? And so we got to ask ourselves these real questions. And unfortunately, it's the unblunt, hurtful truth that we don't want to address because of the shame and the guilt that comes with it. But Youth Villages is intentional about this work. And we understand that we cannot do this work alone. And so not only do we need our churches, we need our nonprofit organizations, we need our community partners, we need our grassroots organizations who are heavily embedded in these communities. There have been several organizations doing this work for years, but they've lacked the resources to truly be successful. So Memphis Outlaws is trying to actively partner with these organizations and provide resources to help scale them up in this work. it's evident that if we truly unite together and collaborate, that we can really impart change in this city and all across Shelby County. Any more questions? Yes, ma'am. Before she speaks, I just really want to shout her out because, and we talk about, mentors, and we talk about leaders in the community. Not only she sits on this board, but she's my former teacher. And she was not just a teacher, but she was a mother away from home. She was a guidance counselor. She was a lawyer. She was a mentor. She was several things. She played several roles. But the reason why she was able to do all that effortlessly, because she was invested in our young people. And so we have to be invested in this work and invested in change. And we're hoping to provide hope for all of you. But Ms. Knight.
Well, thank you for that. I just wanted to know, do you all have like a general meeting, a consensus meeting of all of the partners?
So we do not have a consensus meeting with all the partners. What we are doing is that because we are regional, so I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier. Right now we're currently piloting the Raleigh-Fraser area. We just opened up our new site in our Orange Mound area, and we're looking to expand to 5 additional areas, which includes Raleigh-Fraser, Orange Mound, Hickory Hill, Whitehaven, Binghamton, North Memphis, and South Memphis. And so it's a regional network of sites that's going to have site-based work for our SWITCH program, which is our high-risk adults. But SWITCH Youth is currently being served citywide, and we can serve any youth in the entire city of Memphis across Shelby County. So we do not have like a convening of several partners, but we do bucket our partners in different baskets. So we have SWITCH implementing partners. We also have what we call ancillary support partners, which are organizations who are willing to come in and work with our highest risk adults to provide literacy training, education training, financial training, life skills, coaching skills, clinical skills, mentorship skills. And then we also have what we call a referral network of sources. And so Royal here, who's our juvenile court school coordinator, works with our referral partners like the juvenile court system, the district attorney's office, who refer individuals to our program. So we do have a network of partners, but we're not actively convening partners. It's a new initiative that we did recently launched last year, July 1. And so as we come up on our 1 year program, we're really excited about that. I think that's something that we can kind of explore.
So how many team members do you have like doing this work, and how are you looking to grow in the next few years?
That is a beautiful, beautiful question. So right now we currently have about 72 employees under the Memphis Allies umbrella. That not only includes active staff under YV, that also includes our partners, which is NCC, Lifeline, our newest partner, I Should Not Die But Live, which is our organization working in Orange Mound. And Debbie, if Debbie can raise her hand, she's our Orange Mound Community Relations Coordinator working with organizations in that area. We plan to have 3 teams working with 72 individuals per team in each region. That's serving roughly about 300 to 400 people over a total span of that 4 years. We look to serve about 1,000 high-risk adults and youth over the next 4 years. So right now we are actively hiring more life coaches and outreach specialists. We have a $6,000 sign-on bonus. And so we also have competitive rates. We are hiring people with felonies because we understand that those are the individuals who with lived experiences who can do this work. And so we can't be blue collar trying to reach our young people. We can't. We have to be real about this work. We have to be on their level. We have to understand where they come from. And so that's why we heavily rely on our outreach specialists and our life coaches. But we are currently hiring for those positions right now. We are looking to scale up this program very quickly across over the next 4 years. So we're hoping to be up within the next 4 years, all 7 regions with 3 teams per region. Yes, ma'am.
There's this counseling that you offer the children and the adults who are having trouble. Does that include problems with mental illness?
Yes, ma'am. So Youth Villages is a mental and behavior health or healthcare organization. So our clinical specialists are trained, master level trained, to not only provide counseling, but to also deal with mental health illness as well. But we do understand that we cannot serve all cases, so we do refer out to our partners like Alliance Healthcare, as well as Lakeside. But our staff are clinically trained to provide those services, not only to our young people, not only to those who are in our program, but as well as those in our household, because we provide wraparound services, which means we not only support those who are currently enrolled in the program, but we support those whom they live in the home. And I did not mention this, but I do want to say that another beautiful thing about this program is that we're not politically savvy. We understand in order to sustain this work, it has to be politically removed, which is why YV took on this work. Once we elect a new mayor, this work cannot stop. Once our politicians and our city councilmen and our county commissioners are re-elected and it's a new seat, somehow you see new initiatives start to react what was already working in pauses. We have to be sustainable in our efforts, which means our work does not rely on political government. That's how you sustain this work. It has to continue to go, which is why we're pushing for a more sustainable piece to not only grow our services, but to help serve more people. We don't want this to be flatline by the time we get another mayor. We don't want this to be flatline by the time we get another governor, because people still need help. That does not go away. The lack of resources do, which is why we have to be intentional about where we bucket our monies for programs like this of that nature, which is also why we're very proactive about working with organizations to ensure they too have the resources to do this work.
Any more questions?
Thank you all so much for your time. I do have business cards as well, and my entire team is here to answer any more questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Javante. Thank you so much for coming to speak to us. Thank you for your team and all the work that you do. It's so important, and we really appreciate everything. Thank you. Pastor Kirkwood did not come in, did he? He did not. Okay. We will move on to our business meeting. Joyce, do you want to read the minutes from last month?
April 6, 2023 meeting of the Raleigh Community Council was called to order at 7 p.m. by President Jeanette Ruman. She welcomed everyone and opened the meeting with prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Jeanette Ruman introduced our guest speaker, Shelby County Environmental Court Judge Patrick Dandridge. He shared his background and his responsibilities as Environmental Court Judge for Shelby County. He oversees 1,500 cases per month and 45,000 traffic tickets. There are 2 courts, 2 referees, 13 separate cases per month, dockets, and 3 community courts for short-term cases. He spoke about the Neighborhood Prevention Act, which brings the lawsuit against the property, not the renter or owner. There are 12,000 vacant and blighted properties in Shelby County at the present time. He emphasized that all actions for environmental court start with a call to 311. He stressed retaining the service request number and using it in future inquiries about your issue. He answered many questions from those present. The minutes of the March 2nd meeting were not read by the secretary due to time restraints. Treasurer's report. Michael Messer reported that we have a present balance of $45,504.20. There was no old business. New business. President Ruman shared a flyer from City Councilwoman Rhonda Logan about a meeting to be held concerning a satellite of the hospitality hub to be located in Raleigh. The meeting will be at Scenic Hills Elementary School on Tuesday, April the 18th at 6 p.m. Interested members are encouraged to attend. A vacant building on Austin Peay Highway behind the Social Security building has been proposed to be an extended stay hotel. Members of the RCC board will meet with the developers to learn about their plans. The Land Use Board will also be holding a neighborhood meeting on this site. There were 26 people present tonight. The meeting was adjourned at 8:05.
Thank you, Joyce. Can I get a current treasurer's report, please?
We have a beginning balance of $45,584.10. We have revenues and dues of $149.04. Expenses for the Welcome to Raleigh sign landscaping maintenance is $361.71, with the ending balance of $45,371.43.
Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Okay. All right, I wanted to start with our old business. Kevin, would you like to talk about the sign, the fence around the sign?
Oh, you'll love this.
Well, how y'all doing? All right. I got a phone call about 3 months ago from the property owner at 3355 Austin Peay Highway. 3355 Austin Peay Highway. One more time, 3355 Austin Peay Highway. The property owner. And it turns out that he asked if we got any kind of bids on fixing the fence around the sign. I said yes. I quoted how much money that we had already received in quotes. And he said, just for that? I'm going, yeah. He said, I've got some people I'd like to wind up checking. You mind? I'm going, by no means. Here, go for it. He said, don't worry. I've got this. I'm going, but we do have some funds. I mean, we were going to work with the union and get it done. And he's like, let me make some phone calls. So about 3 weeks later, I noticed driving by there, huge portion of fence missing, gone. The stuff that was bent, straight stuff was up. So I'm going, all right, I think I smell something here. So about a month later, I see 3 individuals right around that fence, and I see new fence right there. They were probably about 15 minutes away from being done. So nice, painted, straight, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I think our president called up the property owner at 3355 Austin Peay, and he seemed to not know anything at all about it, nothing. But I know this individual very well, and he's kind of like me, kind of full of BS. But anyway, 3355 Austin Peay. Do I have anybody in here that's curious about 35 or 3355 Austin Peay? Oh, wait a second, you're asking me who owns 3355. That way, it turns out it's Mike's Autoplex. So, and it just seems, I made a promise that I wouldn't bring his name up, but you asked who's the property owner at 3355 Austin Peay, which is Mike. I ain't gonna say the last name, but anyway, it's all done, all taken care of, didn't cost us anything, and the property owner of 3355 Austin Peay, and I'll give you a phone number. It's 327-2277. 327-2277. I imagine if he gets, or the property owner gets a couple of phone calls saying thank you, it would be very much helpful. So I know it's long, but I've never been kind of short on words. So, didn't you like it?
Thanks, Kevin, and the property owner. Yes, we appreciate it. Okay, I did want to touch on one other thing regarding old business. The proposed extended stay hotel at 3620 Austin P Highway. It is in the same shopping center as the Shelby County Clerk's office. It's visible from if you look at the town center, you will also see it. It's like a vacant office building that I think it's been vacant like 15 years or so. It's an eyesore. So this case came across the Land Use Control Board. I was told there would be a neighborhood meeting. So great, looking forward to it. Checked back and then was told there will not be a neighborhood meeting because it was filed as a major modification. So thankfully, the RCC board members took it upon ourselves to actually meet with the developer, outside of this. So I wanted to just talk about like our concerns that we brought up and what we were told. Let's see, we asked about security, access, how many rooms you're going to have. So he mentioned there was a market study done, and it was either going to be extended stay hotel or apartment complex, and they ended up going with an extended stay hotel, and meaning that people who check in need to stay for weeks at a time, whether it's someone, with Methodist North Hospital, like a doctor coming to work for a specific amount of time, and they need to stay for weeks, if not months, or someone maybe in the construction industry that has a job site they're working on, and they need to stay for 6 months to a year while the job's finished. So that's the kind of people, residents, they're looking to check into their hotel. They said there will be security, a gated access to the back of the building. There will be a one-way entrance and exit, which is through that actual shopping center. There will be no access off of Yale Road, which is what we were concerned about with traffic. No alcohol sold on site. There will be a large meeting room for guest use, 124 rooms, 18 months to build this like they're not tearing anything down. They're working with like the shell of the building and remodeling. So 18 months and about $8 million that they're going to invest in this. So from what we heard, we were pretty satisfied. All our questions were answered. We hope that he does what he says. He also gave us like drawings. Did I mention 124 rooms? There's an artist rendering that we have, and descriptions of the rooms, square footage, if anyone is interested in knowing a little bit more. There were 3 different types of rooms. And the gym, reception area. Yeah, I think the rooms, there's 3 different sizes depending on, I guess, how many people are staying. But if anyone's interested, they can come look at this. I can email you copies, just get with me. So does anyone have any questions about this development? Yes, ma'am.
Is that the building that 25, 30 years ago was the old Social Security office and
Yes.
recruiting offices for the military? Yes.
That's it. That is what I heard.
Is it big enough for that many rooms without them building something to it?
Apparently so. It does look pretty big. So, but ultimately, I'm excited that someone is actually coming to develop and putting their money into this, and hopefully the facade will be nice because you can see it from our beautiful town center. And he was saying once the permitting goes through and everything's approved, they're looking to get possibly Marriott or Hilton to come in and invest and own the hotel. So we will just have to see what happens. So, oh yes, and there is a public hearing. The Land Use Control Board is having a public hearing May 11th at 9 a.m. and that's when this case will go in front of them. If anyone's interested in tuning in, they have a YouTube link and I can send that to anyone if they need it. So, all right. Is there any other old business I need to discuss? Okay. All right, new business. All right. I put a flyer at the treasurer's desk. I think there's still some more. There's a town hall meeting. It is hosted by our state representative, Antonio Parkinson. It is Tuesday, May 9th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at Breath of Life Christian Center, located at 3795 Fraser Raleigh Road. It's a town hall meeting discussing guns, crime, and safety in our neighborhoods. So I encourage everyone to attend that. Okay. There is also a card at the treasurer's desk, a greeting card, because that is for our police officers, because National Police Week is the week of May 15th, and the RCC is going to provide lunch or breakfast, maybe lunch. I'm going to call the receptionist and set something up and find out what their needs are and what time of day is best to make the most impact. So I thought we would send a greeting card as well. So if you haven't signed it and wish to sign it, that's what it's there for. Okay. And the RCC is also hosting an Explore the Greenway event Saturday, May 13th at 9 a.m. For those who haven't experienced our beautiful, lovely Greenway with the trails and the lake, it's awesome. And if you just haven't been able to go because you have no one to go with, or you know, I get it. It's gonna be a group. It's gonna be safe. It's gonna be us just walking the trail and just having a good time. And Kevin, I know you'll be there. Plenty of bottled water, right? So that'll be fun. Hopefully it's good weather. If not, we're gonna have it the next Saturday, May 20th. So we just wanted to have a chance for everyone to just enjoy it as a group and try to get a lot of us together and have fellowship and just enjoy a good Saturday morning. I'll be there with my daughter, Reba. So we're gonna be strolling her around and probably keep her in there.
Where does it begin?
So it's actually, it's gonna be at Epping Way. Ooh, and I do have the address. I can give it to you. I didn't write it down on my notes, but it is, it's at Epping Way. Kevin, can you help me?
It is in between the apartment complexes.
Mm-hmm.
That is Epping Way, and it's kind of a short little cove in there. But it is absolutely beautiful back in there. They got lakes, they got plenty of walking trails, and no duck doo-doo.
No, we don't. Yeah. And there's plenty of parking. It's like a roundabout, and there's a lot of space for vehicles. It's very pretty. And I think that day they're actually going to be renting canoes and kayaks too. If anyone wants to delve into that, I'm not gonna go there. but that's fun. Okay, so that is that. What else do I have for y'all? I could just go on and on. Okay, we have 2 new businesses in Raleigh that I know about that made like the Memphis Business Journal, and I saw some literature about it. Travel Camp RV has opened a Memphis location in January. It's at the former Karis Car Central on Covington Pike. So there's only one in Memphis, and it's in Raleigh. So I think that's great. That's great for us. RVs are really popular right now. Their sales are skyrocketing, so that's great. Herbie Systems also opened a location on Covington Pike, just down the street to serve the Raleigh-Bartlett area. So that's great. We have new businesses coming. That's always something to celebrate. So I might be sending them business memberships. So we'll see. Maybe we can get them in here to come speak to us. So I think that's everything. I don't want to, yes. I can mention the hospitality hub. I did go, it was in our previous minutes. I went to the meeting. It was a good turnout at the Scenic Hills Elementary School for the hospitality hub that our Councilwoman Rhonda Logan is advocating for. So Hospitality Hub, its major, well, I think its only headquarters right now is downtown. It's a hub. Sorry, I'm gesturing. It's a hub. It's basically a hotel for homeless individuals, people needing help, people needing assistance to get some things back on track. And Rhonda Logan is wanting a satellite office to be in Raleigh because Raleigh has hundreds of homeless individuals and families, and there is a need, and she has been pushing for this for a while, and that's what this meeting was about with a couple people from the Hospitality Hub. So they are looking to put this location, I don't have the exact address, it's about a mile from Scenic Hills Elementary School, and it's gonna have, I think, 10 cottages for families, and then 10 like single family homes, so people can, just go in, take a shower, eat. They have a counselor. It all sounded great, and like I said, our community needs it, and I can give anyone more information on that. I have like the flyer, and I can direct you to the Hospitality Hub website. So, are there any questions about that? Okay. Well, any other new business? Kevin?
I've received 2 phone calls, and they were asking about what's being built next to the Bojangles site that looks like it could be a Chick-fil-A.
Well, it looks like it's a Chick-fil-A. It is.
Oh my goodness.
So not only a Chick-fil-A, a tropical smoothie cafe as well, according to the Memphis Business Journal. So, and I think it did say there were maybe 1 or 2 other lots. So more development to come. Yes, Kevin.
Can I sit there and kind of ask somebody to stand up that's kind of responsible for some of this?
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course.
Madam Ex-President, will you please stand up?
It's been a long time coming. It's been in the road for about 6 years, and we have pushed and pushed and pushed, and I'm eternally grateful that it is now not a dream. It is a reality. So, and more is coming. There are 3 more developments behind.
3 more.
3 more
Okay.
developments
Okay.
behind.
That's great.
They're in the works also, and have been in the works for the last 6, 7 years.
COVID hurt. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and once the official announcement can be made, I will be more than happy to give you the announcement and let you make it at the next one.
That'd be great.
So, and you'll be pleased.
Thanks, Betty. Yeah, and since we were talking about this, I have the article, I've cut it out of Memphis Business Journal. Chick-fil-A coming to Raleigh, and the last paragraph says, these tenants would not be here if the city of Memphis did not take on the Raleigh Civic Center. I mean, they meant to say the Raleigh Community Council, but and it also says if Amazon did not build a 4.5 million square foot warehouse to the west, these had to happen to make this development a reality.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yes.
So
And
we do a whole lot. I mean,
We do.
it's kind of undercover, but we do a whole lot.
I'm taking 0 credit because this was before my time on the council. So, thank you,
That's usually
past
when the
board
IRS
members.
comes in, audits the books. That's whenever you say, I didn't.
But yes, it's all great. There's a lot of good things happening in our community, in our city right now. Is there any more new business before we adjourn? Did we have any visitors or anyone sign up to become a new member tonight? You can, oh, thank you. We appreciate you coming out and joining, or at least coming to visit. We would love for you to tell your friends, family, neighbors that we're here the first Thursday of every month, and we try to have a very informative speaker, and we definitely did tonight. Can we give another round of applause? All right. Well, yes, ma'am.
I've heard that they were going to be, I heard you say the state action.
The extended stay, yes.
But I heard that there's supposed to be a large hotel coming up in the Raleigh area behind the Methodist North.
I have not heard about a hotel. I thought Methodist North was expanding like their services and hospital. Does anyone have any? Nothing? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about a hotel either, so. Thank you. Anything else? Yes?
I've noticed that they've now begun to do some type of breaking ground or something on the part of the Raleigh Civic Center behind the library, that part. What is that supposed to be?
I think that is the NPD, isn't that where they're, Kevin, you know, when they're gonna repair the cars and.
Yeah, that's a City of Memphis repair facility, take care of the police department and other city services. So a maintenance facility.
Maintenance facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have read about more improvements to the town center and all that green space. There's supposed to be a farmer's market coming, a playground for the kids, a possible amphitheater. So I don't think any of that's cemented yet, but I think the funding has been set aside from what I saw with the city council meeting. So, yes.
One quick question. I also walk down James Road and go up High Street. They are building something back in High Street. What is that going to do? Do you have an idea?
High Street.
It's First Street off of Austin P. You have to go up Buddy Chapman's property, turn the back, but you take the immediate right and you go up there, and to the left they've got, you know, all of the markers for a new building. I thought maybe highway maintenance or the city was doing something, but there is no sign.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, there could be Water Street.
Oh, Water Street. Okay, so that's where that developer, whoever that was, came and took a lot of our trees and left it. And I've seen dirt. I've seen trucks hauling dirt from that area, but.
There's a ton of dirt that's gone in. There's a ton of gravel that has gone in. There have been mudslides down the back of it. I mean, it's a disaster. Apparently, no permits have been pulled. This is happening without any kind of regulation, and I mean, it's bad.
Well, it sounds like we need to look into that then. Yes. Okay. 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 I didn't realize all that was happening. I've seen dirt trucks, but that's about it when I'm traveling. So, okay.
Right as you come under Austin P.
Right.
If you took that very first left, right where people are exiting to come out, there's that little, it's just a little dead street.
Yeah. I drive past it every day coming home from work.
A little lighter, strong property.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna look into that. Thank you. No, yeah, let us know if you know of anything happening that, you know, is questionable, or you have questions, bring it to our attention, because that's what we're here for. Okay.
Madam President, the last thing, and I'll shut up.
Please.
All right. All you mothers in here, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Pre-Mother's Day.
Thank you, Kevin. Right. Do I have a motion that we adjourn? Okay. A second? All right, let's go home. Thank you so much again for coming. Be careful, be safe. We hope to see y'all again next month.